Hi there. This is Beth Green, otherwise known as Granny Rocks.
And this is James Maynard, otherwise known as Sweet Baby James.
And I'm here to talk to you about a topic that I hope you're going to enjoy and that it's going to make you think and you're going to agree with me. And that's the important thing, is right, that you have to agree.
There you go.
This is important. Okay, and the topic is post-coronavirus. Do we really want life to go back to the way it was?
I don't.
Woohoo.
I don't.
So I'm going to talk about that today. But before I get into that topic, we have...
Yes, you have come to Granny Rocks, where Granny, Beth, shares her wit, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense with us every Monday and Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So without further ado, here's Granny.
Okay. Oh, it says we're live. See, it could be worse. Right? So I'm going to... it always takes a couple of minutes till this Facebook sorts itself out.
See, it could be worse.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay. Let's shut that up. Thank you. Okay. So, this is a very important topic to me. And just because I'm joking around a lot doesn't mean that I don't consider it a very important topic. Our world, as far as I'm concerned, and many other people, we have a world where our values are upside down.
Would you explain that, please?
I would be happy to explain that. Let's just take something as simple as well-being versus money. Which do we tend to emphasize in this world?
Money.
Exactly. Now, welfare of people and the planet versus money.
Money wins.
Money wins. And Karen...
Profits before people.
Thank you. Yes. But the most important thing is that Karen just wrote, "Oh, I love the blue on you." Karen, I know it looks blue. It's actually purple. It's a deep purple, but on the screen it looks blue, which is probably good because it didn't really match my robe. So, anyway.
Looks color coordinated on the screen.
It does, exactly. I must have known that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So our values are upside down, and in fact, we're seeing a lot of that right now. It's like, oh, we have to open the economy. In fact, some people are opening the economy even though the death rate is still going up. Todd says, "Hi there, Todd's here." Hi, Todd. I'm glad you're here. So, and please keep those comments going because we're actually seeing comments at the moment. Elizabeth said hi and sent a heart. Hi, Elizabeth. So, I do understand the value of money. I understand it particularly because nobody has ever given me money. I mean, I've had to earn it. I wasn't born with money. I don't have an inheritance. Neither does Sweet Baby James. So I understand how much money is crucial for our survival. In fact, we're looking at it now and saying, oh my God, look at our income. But see, without health and well-being, money means nothing because you wouldn't even be here. You could possibly even be dead. And then your money won't help you. But it's not just that. When you're sick, at that moment, money can help you when you're sick. You can hire help and so on, but it can't be a substitute for feeling well. Trust me, I've been sick all my life, and it totally sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, having money is not a substitute for having health. Having money is not a substitute for having emotional health, mental health, and well-being. Being happy, being stable. I mean, look at the poor people who have all the money in the world, but on an emotional level, they're full of fear, they're full of stress, they're full of anxiety. I mean, that is a very, very tough way to live with all those negative thoughts and feelings inside. Or the people who have money but have no friends, don't know how to relate. So there's a lot to be said about well-being. And on on top of that, we have the well-being of the planet. Fazil says, "Hi, lovely couple. Malaysia is watching. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
it."
And
See,
Yasin says hi also. Well, she's from Indonesia.
is she?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yes, I do.
Great, great. So we have friends from around the
And
world
we've
who
had
watching.
hellos from Todd and Elizabeth.
I
as
already
Oh,
said
did
hello
you?
to them. I did.
Was I there?
No. So anyway, the earth. The earth is suffering from our obsession with money. We've been raping the earth, as we know. You know, this is not new. The Industrial Revolution, the pollution, the poisoning of the rivers and the air, and so on. And so we do not look after the well-being of people, nor do we look at the well-being of the planet. And that is not an accident. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I do want to say that money has a lot to do with that. That we keep choosing short-term monetary game over long-term thinking. Now we are in the West and we're in this enormous drought again, global warming, you know, which our government denies has anything to do with humans, which is absolutely unbelievable because everybody knows that it does. Okay. So we are not choosing the health of the planet, and in the end, we are going to suffer the consequences. Just like if we don't take care of our physical health, our mental health and well-being, our social well-being, our relaxation, we will pay for that in the long run, right?
Well, that's so true.
So that's the way it's been, and that's the way it continues to be, and all of a sudden we have this pause. Oh, Judy says, James, pay attention. Judy's from West Virginia. We have California, we have Oregon, we have West Virginia, we have Malaysia. We're all over the place right
Judy,
now.
I was lost in thought. Lofty thoughts, I'm sure.
Very lofty, I'm sure. So, our values are upside down, and it's hurting us. And the amount of stress that people are under is really intense. I'm not talking about during the coronavirus, I'm talking about before the coronavirus. I mean, if the stress level in our world weren't so high, people wouldn't be drinking, using drugs, womanizing, being addicted to sex, to gambling, being abusive to one another. It's the ills of the world right now. What do I want to say about this? This is because our values are upside down, not just in that sense of we don't value our well-being, we value money and power, right? But it's also because we don't value women. Todd said, "You're so right." Yay, Todd. Now, what do I mean when I say we don't value women? Well, I don't know if the whole world is like this, but every part of the world that I know about directly, and I can't say anything about everything because I don't know. But in most parts of the world, all the places that I've seen, men dominate. In some places, it's very obvious that men dominate. Very obvious. The wife has to stay home, take care of the children, can't go out. I mean, look at Saudi Arabia. Women have just won the right to drive, can't do anything without men's permission. So there's that, but there are so many levels on which this takes place. It's not just in extreme cases. It's not just in nations where it's legal to beat your wife. In fact, in this nation, it used to be legal to beat your wife, just as it was legal, and maybe still is in some places, to beat your children, right? But it's in so many subtle ways, there is just this assumption that men are supposed to rule. And I have to admit that I absorbed that mentality myself. When I was growing up, all the doctors were men. Now, more and more of the doctors are women. So now somebody says to me, and so I called the doctor. Well, I assume it's a man. But it goes so much deeper than that. We assume that the way that men have structured the society is normal. That, for instance, I grew up playing classical music, classical music like Chopin and Beethoven and Bach and all of that. Well, classical music was dominated by men. I was a teenager, I was studying classical music, and all the great pianists, with very few exceptions, were men. And I didn't even question that. Just about all the composers were men. And the way that everything was structured around classical music was male. Now, I didn't even realize that because I was so busy trying to live up to the standard that I saw. This was the standard of what is good classical music, but it isn't. And I'm going to give you a shocking example. Are you ready to be shocked?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I called a classical music station at a university in Eugene, and I said, I have this music, and I'm a local artist. I'm a pianist, and I play improvisational music, right? And I'd like you to use my music on your classical music station. It's good music. And they said, well, first of all, are you on a major record label? Well, no, I'm not on a major record label. It doesn't matter whether my music is good or bad. I'm not on a major record label, which is all dominated by men, right? But I said, no. I said, but, I do this and I do that and I live stream music. And I said, my music is improvisational. They said, that's it. Even if I got, this is amazing, right? Even if I got a major record label to, publish my music, record my music, they said they would not play it because you can't improvise. Well, why can't you improvise? Can somebody tell me why you can't improvise and call it classical music? Well, I said to the guy, I said, in Bach's day, in the Baroque period, they were all improvising. And I said, and Chopin, one of the most famous classical composers, improvised. I said, well, I'm sorry, that's a rule we have here. We just have a rule that you can't improvise. Well, see, I am very female in this respect. I am very intuitive. And we tend to associate intuition with the feminine energy. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't men who are intuitive, but women tend to have cultivated that or are born with it. Maybe it's just because we're so busy watching out for people, worrying about the children, tuning in to what the needs are. We're nursing, we're houseworking, and I'm going to get to housework too tonight. We're doing all that stuff. That's intuition. That doesn't count. You don't get paid to be intuitive. You get paid for making money for some corporation. You get paid for toting that barge, or you get paid for, getting people to work harder and make them more productive. That's what you're going to get paid for, right? There's no value to intuition. It's too feminine. So here's an entire field, classical music, where these people don't even get it. That you can improvise. It's not even in their paradigm. See, now I want to say more about women, and I want you to understand, guys, that I'm not talking down to the guys, and I'm not telling you that you're bad or anything like that. I'm saying that we grow up in a world where there are certain assumptions, like if the man makes less money than the woman, he has to go through a big emotional about it, right? Well, why? Because he grew up with the belief that he's supposed to make more money than the woman. And of course, we know that there is, inequality in pay for the same job. But see, what I'm saying is that the men have been trained to think that they're supposed to be on top. And when they're not on top, it's very hard on them. They don't like that because they feel like they're, being, I'm not going to use the word because I don't know if I can say that on the air, but, they're sissies or something nonsensical like that. So men feel the obligation to stay on top. And so when women are smarter than they are in some way, or stronger physically in some way, or more talented in some way, most men will suffer feeling like there's something wrong with this picture and they have to assert themselves to get their power back. Well, but you don't. See, there's no reason that there should be power over anybody. And also, guys, you are not getting the benefit, because if you have a dependent wife and children and you have to fight for your rights as a worker, you're going to be in trouble. It's hard to go on strike when you're the only breadwinner in the house. So actually, when women don't have power, men don't have any power either. But boy, okay, so you get to have to boss women around or boss children around, or to assume that you should be able to and resent it when you don't. And in exchange, you lose all your power in the world. I don't get that that's a good deal, but you may think that it is. Now, some of you may be hanging up on me right now, but I want you to understand that I'm talking for everybody. There is nobody who is not impacted negatively by this. Todd says you're so right. I'm so glad you said that. So now, the role of women typically has been to take care of the people, the children. In many societies, it's been like to grow the food and so on. It's the nurturing role. And guess what? The nurturing of the earth and people is not given any value. What's given value is making money. Are you putting this together?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying, dude? So, we women have a tendency. Oh, Judy said you are so right, but truly there is nothing as special as a woman. Oh, their assets are many. We even underrate ourselves. But exactly, Judy, exactly, we do underrate ourselves. I don't want to be considered better than anybody. I just want to have my full value. And that this is true when it comes to race or religion or anything else. We all need to see our true value, and we need to see each other's value, and we should be grateful that the other is bringing in a gift that we need in order to build a better world. You know, we all need this. So we see that this whole society is based on not valuing the things that women do, like nurture and care for and love. And I would bet you that most of you, not everyone, tended to have more love and attention and caring from your mother than from your father, if for no other reason than because your dad was away working when the mother was home, or because there was an assumption that the woman was taking more responsibility for the nurturing of the children, or because the father thought that after he finished a day's work that he had a right to go out and play golf, whereas the woman had to come home and clean. Now, I know these things are changing, but they're changing really slowly. And what I'm saying is that, yes, Judy, we women have internalized this too. And this is reflected in the fact that our values in our world are upside down, and that we do not see the value of caring for people. Now, I could connect this to the egoic view of the world. The ego is all about me, right? And what I'm talking about, connection and caring, which is all about we. So now, I could go into the ego another time. I don't want to spend too much time on this because, we have to wrap up the show at some point. But I want to see something better than what we already have and what we have had. I don't want to go back to destroying the planet at the mad pace we were doing it before. Do you?
No. Tell us more about what you would like to see differently.
Well, I would like to see a world, a universe of caring. A universe where people really value love. And I don't mean, I love you, I love you. I'm not talking about that. That's the romantic love that comes, that goes, you know what I'm saying. I'm talking about love, the feeling of connection to everything. And
really showing caring about
That's right.
everybody else's needs getting met.
that's right. Now we know, I've talked about this before. Oh, hi Debbie, hi James. She said, hi James and Beth, great topic. Thank you, honey. Glad to hear it. I'm glad to see you too. We need to have a more caring world. If we had a more caring world to start with, we wouldn't all be scrambling to survive. I have not gotten my economic stimulus check yet, right? I know it's out there somewhere, but I don't have it. And, we're not, why do we not have anything in place?
A safety net in place.
A safety net for everyone. Oh, Judy said, James, Granny is on a roll tonight. You might want to sleep on the couch tonight. Just saying. Actually, that's not true. My hubby has the ego male reaction too, but he's working on it.
That's right.
And I'm working on it, and we're working on it together.
Yes, we are.
And that's why he's a keeper, as you know, Judy. Faisal says, above all, cash is king, escalates to humanity at the masses. Exactly. We have taken on that attitude, Fazil, but we have to turn it around. We have to start sometime. We have to start somewhere. Now you can say, well, we can't start now because now things are, there's no money and all this money is going into the stimulus package and trying to bail out the airlines or the big, businesses and all of that, I want to see a regular income, basic income for every human being so that this would not have happened to begin with. So if we all had some income, then we wouldn't be freaking out and we wouldn't be measuring whether or not we should go, but how many deaths we should have by starting the economy again. And we should have a society that cares for people so that these tests would have been available and that the government should have stepped in and not said, oh, well, we're leaving that for private enterprise. Like, oh, yeah. Niyamul says, I am Bangladeshi. My family member is 11. COVID-19 lockdown in our village for 30 days. Please help. Oh, no.
My family members.
I am taking you out. I am not going to give you money. You think you are the only one who has money? I'm going to hide that comment. I really resent that. Sweet Baby James and I do 4 free programs a week. We are struggling. We don't have income ourselves, but we're trying to give to others. And it really upsets me when people contact me on Facebook and say, would you send me a visa? Like I could. Teach me how to play the piano. Get me out of here. Send me money. It's like, I'm doing what I can to help. You worry about yourself. You do what you can to help others. And let me worry about doing what I can to help others as well.
There you go.
So there it is. Anyway, you see, that's a very egoic way. I need this. People will write to me and say, I need this. I need you to help me. Hi, Kim. Kim just said, hi, Granny. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
I hope you've been here up to this point, and if so, if not, you can watch the rest. But yes, exactly the same thing. Here we are trying to help people, and there are so many people out there that say, I need help. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs help. Let's fight for everybody. Oh, Kim said, hi, Granny. Hi, James. Hi, everyone.
All right.
Hi, Beth.
Everybody.
To you. So, yes, I want a better world for everyone. I want us to recognize that everyone in the world has to be well in order for us to avoid these catastrophes. That we need universal income. We need universal health care. We need to change the value system and to start to support the values that we do not value because they're associated with women.
Oh, my.
Right?
Well, you got a point there.
Thank you, James. So, I think I may have said quite enough for tonight. So, I want you to think about this too. Do we really want life to go back to the way it was? Do we really want young people committing suicide? Middle-aged people committing suicide? Do we really want people taking drugs and drinking because they feel alienated? Do we really want everybody to be obsessed with making money or sex or other things that do not nurture the soul? Or do we want to say, this moment is teaching us something, that what we need is one another, and that we need everyone to be nurtured, to be well, to have enough, and that in that way there will be enough money for us to buy things that we need, and that the people who are making those things will also be able to survive. So now I want to remind you, Monday and Wednesday, we live stream 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, Granny Rocks. And Thursday, we are doing Dreams of Peace, improvisational piano. That's at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Kick up your feet. And we hope that we have solved our problems.
Our tests are proving to be excellent.
The only thing we haven't tested yet is while live streaming and recording at the same time, and we can't do that until Thursday when we live stream. But we have a new computer, and even though I'm not making any money, we're spending it. We're spending it on our free programs. And Todd said, "Thank you for such a great message." Mwah, mwah.
Thank you, Todd.
And thank you for a great, great, great audience. You would be amazed at how many likes and loves we're getting on our videos now.
Hey, Beth, don't forget to tell them about the Thursday noon Pacific time support group around the coronavirus led by you.
Yes. So every Thursday from 12 to 1 Pacific time, we lead a live, in person on the internet group. If you look at the post that goes with this video, there's a link. It is bethgreen.as.me. And you'll see it. You can click on it. You can register. It's free. Every Thursday we do a group, and I give you processes, and everybody feels so much better. You can register. We're doing it now until the May 28th. You can register for all of those programs, or you can just register for the ones you want. We would love to have you join us. We all need support now. Let's give it to ourselves and one another. God bless.
Yeah.
And
Pleasure,
come
everybody.
back soon and share this program. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.